My wife admitted to a regrettable mistake last weekend, and it has deeply affected me. I, 32M, have been married to my wife Kate, 30F, for 4 years, together for 9. Our relationship has been amazing, loving, and supportive. We have good communication, hardly ever argue, and our bedroom life has gone from strength to strength over the years. We discussed trust in the past, and I was always clear that our relationship was based on it. Kate went home to visit her family last weekend, which was fairly normal. Before she left on Friday night, we had a minor argument about keeping the house tidy, so our communication was limited on Saturday. I knew she was going out to meet some friends at a bar. I trusted her completely and didn't think anything of it. Before I fell asleep, I texted her, hoping she had a nice night. When I woke up on Sunday morning, I had a missed call from Kate at 4 a.m., so I immediately called her to check if she was okay, but there was no answer. After a few hours, I tried again a few times, but still got no response. Around an hour later, I got a message saying she was fine and would be driving back soon. Kate got home late afternoon and looked distressed. She had clearly been crying, wasn't wearing any makeup, unusual for her, and looked like she was carrying a heavy burden. I knew right away something was wrong, but she wouldn't let me hug her and would barely speak. I sat her down on the couch and made her some tea. I gently encouraged her to tell me what was wrong, and she burst into uncontrollable tears for at least 10 minutes while I tried to comfort her. She then proceeded to tell me, stopping every few words, that she had made a mistake with someone after the bar. At that moment, something inside me shut down. I can't describe it any other way. I immediately got up, jumped in my car, and drove off. I went to a park and walked around it for about an hour. Kate was calling my phone constantly, and I turned it off. When I got home, I grabbed 2 suitcases from the garage and went to our bedroom. I packed some of Kate's clothes and shoes into them and left them by the front door. Kate was lying on the floor in the living room, curled up in a ball, sobbing. I called her best friend, who lives nearby, and told her that Kate needed a place to stay and a ride to her place, and that Kate could explain everything to her later. I told Kate I was leaving for an hour and that her friend was coming to pick her up. She grabbed onto my legs, trying to stop me from leaving. When I returned home again, Kate was gone, and so were the suitcases. On Monday, with a clearer head, I answered one of Kate's many calls and told her that I needed her to send me an email with as much detail as possible about that night, and if she left anything out, there would be no hope of reconciliation. I received this email on Monday night, but still haven't opened it. Since then, everyone has been trying to contact me, but I have just been working, exercising, and sleeping. One of her friends turned up at my house with an attitude, demanding an explanation. I told her to speak to Kate and close the door in her face. I have also been speaking to divorce lawyers, moved money into separate accounts, and blocked Kate and all of her friends on everything. Everything I have done since I found out seems like I've been on autopilot. I don't feel angry, upset, or overly emotional, just numb. Kate posted a note through the door yesterday asking me to meet tomorrow, but I'm conflicted. Should I meet her? Will it change anything? Is there any point in trying to reconcile? Is it normal to feel numb? And how do I snap out of this? And I just want to add that when I came home the first time, Kate confirmed it was consensual. She was under the influence, but knew what she was doing. I decided to meet with Kate, but not read the email. Kate came to the house yesterday, and when I opened the door, she looked terrible. She tried to hug me and started mumbling apologies, but I stopped her and we sat down to talk. I started by telling Kate that I would be recording the audio of the conversation, and she agreed. I then asked her to explain what happened and told her that I haven't read the email she sent. Kate said she had been at the bar with 2 friends, I know and like both of them, and told me what she had to drink. I was surprised at how little she drank because it was the same amount we would normally drink when going for dinner. A few glasses of wine and a cocktail. She admitted she was only slightly tipsy. One of her friends, Sarah, has a younger brother, Max, 27M, who came to pick them up around midnight. It's a running joke in their group that Max has had a major crush on Kate since high school, and I had heard them joke about this. The four of them went to get some food, and Max then dropped each one off until it was just him and Kate. Kate said she didn't want him to drive the 20 minutes to her parents' place after working all day, so she decided to order an Uber from his apartment. She went into his apartment to order the Uber, but couldn't get one. Max suggested she should crash in his bed, and he would take the sofa, and he would then drop her off in the morning. Kate refused and continued to try to find an Uber. They were sitting on Max's bed, and he kissed her. She kissed him back, and they ended up having a moment of weakness. After that, she broke down crying from guilt, and Max took her home. She cried for another hour, then tried to call me to tell me what she had done. We had to stop a number of times because Kate kept breaking down and crying hysterically. She told me it was a huge mistake. She got caught up in the moment. It was terrible. She only loves me, and other heartfelt apologies. After she was done, I told her that her story didn't make sense, but it didn't matter at this stage because I was done. This caused another breakdown. I told her I was going to continue with the divorce preparations, but for the next month, we would be separated with no contact. I also told her that we would both remain faithful, get a full health check, and she would tell our mutual friends and family what happened. If she sticks to these conditions, I would be willing to meet again to see if there was any way forward other than divorce. She enthusiastically agreed to this, but made it clear that she did not expect me to stay faithful to her. I know many of you will criticize this decision, but I need to be sure that divorce is the right option after I have had time to process everything that has happened. I am still 99% sure that is where we are heading, but I need to be 100% certain. Just to clarify, I've had mutual friends and my wife's family send me unpleasant messages, turn up at my house, etc. Because according to Kate, I kicked her out over an argument. My request was that Kate tell them it's because she was unfaithful, not a full rundown of everything that happened.